You guys want to farm up some gems? Alright bro, let's get the simple stuff out of the way. Characters in Duel Links have gems as level up rewards. If you want to level them up, you need EXP, and by winning a duel you gain 500 EXP, and by losing a duel you gain 250 EXP. And if you surrender you get no EXP at all. And if you're using multipliers, you can spend more resources to get more rewards, including multiplied EXP. You probably know all that, but now we've established that we know how EXP works. How are we going to get the most of it and take the best advantage of it? Of course, the easiest way to get EXP is by auto-dueling against standard duelists. Standard duelists are the dudes in small blue circles that show up in Duel World, and if you don't have the option to auto-duel them yet, just keep raising your stage level. To speed up the process, you can also change the multiplier. This will let you get the rewards in EXP as if you fought 2 duelists or 3 duelists. Of course, you would always pick 3 because that will give you the most in the shortest time, but using a multiplier will make the same amount of standard duelists disappear from Duel World as if you had dueled them all individually. This is still good though because it will make the process faster. When you start the game, you'll have a maximum of 5 standard duelists that will appear in Duel World. You can see how many are currently in Duel World by looking at the top left of the screen. The standard duelist icons will light up for every standard duelist that's currently available to duel. Once you defeat one, they will disappear, but another one will appear in 30 minutes. So if you defeat all 5, then you'll have to wait 2 hours and 30 minutes to get a full respawn again. That's just too long to wait, but there is a way to force them to respawn, and that is by completing a stage. Once you have completed all stage missions within a stage, you can raise your stage, and this will reset all of your standard duelists so that you can fight them all again. To make the most out of this reset, make sure you duel all of your available standard duelists before raising your stage up. At some point in this process, you will be given special missions that will unlock other worlds. At the time of making this video, there are currently 7 worlds to unlock, including the world that you start in. Each world has its own stage missions, its own characters, and they might even have their own unique standard duelists. The first world you start in is called DM World. You can tell which one it is by seeing that it just has the standard Yu-Gi-Oh logo. At some point in DM World, the stage missions are going to get harder and harder. You might not have the cards you need yet to complete those missions, but for the most part, cards you can obtain from the card trader will be able to help you get the job done. If you need help with any stage missions, join the Team 6K Discord. The link is in the description, and I or somebody else will help you find a way that you can complete that mission. At some point, with the missions getting harder, it will be tempting to move over to one of the other 6 worlds to do their easier stage missions. That is definitely a good thing to do, but there is something you have to know first. After raising your stage by a certain amount, the maximum amount of standard duelists that appear in your duel world will increase, and that increase will be the same increase across all 7 worlds. That means that you will get more bang for your buck when you raise your stage and reset your standard duelists. However, you can only increase the maximum standard duelist count by raising your DM stages. The other worlds will not increase your maximum standard duelists by completing their stages. In order to reach the absolute most standard duelists, you need to get to stage 26 in Duel World. And at that point, you will have 10 maximum standard duelists available to you. If you are willing to grind to that point before doing every other world stage missions to reset your standard duelists, then you will be rewarded for it. That little bit of extra free EXP can make a difference. By getting to stage 25, you'll also unlock level 40 legendary duelists at the gate. They have the highest chance of dropping their rare cards, and some of them actually give some really good cards, so this is definitely worth doing. At some point though, there are going to be stage missions that require you to win a certain amount of duels. When you have this stage mission, you are going to want to set your multiplier to ×1 so that you can get more free auto duels in so that those missions are completed easier. But even then, there are going to be times where you know you won't be able to raise your stage for a little while because of the amount of duels you need to complete for a mission, and at that point you will be going for the most grindy part of the gem grinding, and that is using the gate. If you want to duel a legendary duelist at the gate, you need to pay a certain amount of keys depending on their level. The higher the level, the more keys, but also the higher chance that they will give you one of their rare cards. If you want those cards, then you can duel them at level 40, but if you only want EXP, then you should duel them at level 10 because they will give the same EXP regardless of how many keys you spend. If you rely too heavily on level 10 legendary duelists at the gate though, there is a risk that you will run out of keys. The best way to get keys just so happens to be dueling standard duelists, so don't neglect your stage missions. If you don't have all of your world stages at their maximum level, don't leave a comment saying that your account is dried up. And if your account is dried up and you don't have enough good cards, then you very likely made some bad investments and need to start over. But with that in mind, I've made this video that will help you to make good investments once you have made a new account. The link is in the description. So I've outlined the best ways to take advantage of the dual world system to get your gems in the most effective way, but you might get bored. You might feel disheartened, and you may want to give up at some point. That's okay. I also have some psychological tips to help you feel fresh while you're doing this. The first thing is that while you are focusing on stage missions, you can also level up your characters in a way that makes you feel like you're achieving a lot. For example, what I like to do when I'm starting a new account or a new world is I will level everybody up to level 10, because between levels 1 and 10, for most characters you will earn 100 gems. So for every 5 characters that you level up to level 10, that will be 500 gems, which is enough to buy 10 packs. For psychological reasons, I also only ever open packs 10 at a time rather than spending gems as soon as I get them. Because if I'm just opening one pack, then that's just me taking a speck off the entire pile in my path to getting the cards that I want. But if I wait until I can open 10 packs at once, then I'm taking off quite a sizable chunk off of the box, and I feel like I'm getting to my goal much faster, even though technically the speed hasn't changed. It just feels better that way. Once you've gotten your characters to level 10, you could then level them all up to level 20. It will take a little longer, but they also do give a lot of gems, so you will be getting 500 gems easily and repeatedly. Then the climb from 20 to 30 will definitely be a longer climb than you have done previously. However, you will be getting so many gems, it will feel so worth it whenever you get the gems between 20 and 30. You can feel free to stop leveling them up at level 30 though, because 30 and onwards is a real grind, but when all of your characters are level 30, you will want to come back to them to level them all up to max. Those gems are waiting for you, you just have to get them. You might have your own way of making leveling up your characters feel better, and that's completely fine too. Other than this though, sometimes you are still going to feel bored. At the point that you are feeling bored, you should start multitasking. Here are some examples of things you can do to multitask while leveling up characters. There are monsters in the game that if you summon them 100 times, you will receive a special playmat for doing so, with that monster as the artwork. Unlocking these playmats to me is pretty satisfying, so if I'm feeling bored, I'll just put those monsters in a deck to summon them, so I'm not just gaining XP, I'm also gaining summons to go towards that playmat unlock. If you want to know what monsters have playmats to unlock, you can go to duelingsmeta.com, go to farming and events, scroll down until you see the section game mats, card sleeves and icons guide, and in there you'll see all the unlockable playmats and how to unlock them. There are also special icons you can unlock. Icons are little pictures that you can set in your ID, so whenever somebody duels you, they see that little picture, and it'll be like a badge of honor. You can find out how to unlock different icons in the same section of Duel Links Meta, and you might like to unlock those while you're farming EXP as well. When all else fails, you know, beating level 10 legendary duelists is pretty easy, so even though it's boring, you could do it at the same time as you're doing something else, like watching a movie or a show or an anime. You might even be able to finally catch up to One Piece while leveling up your characters. I should also mention that the artificial intelligence that plays your duels for you while you are auto-dueling is good for what it is, but Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a complicated game designed for human decision making. A computer simply can't replicate it, so maybe don't give it a super complicated deck. Give it a deck that a child could probably play. Some decks I can give for building an auto-duel deck is use monsters that are easy to summon and have large attack, but also use spell and trap card that either stop the opponent from attacking in some way or make your monsters stronger so that they can win in battle. You might get cards like these from the box you happen to be going in, but if you want something quick and simple, you can spend 500 gems on the Dragonic Force structure deck until you get better cards from the boxes you're going into. It's not that amazing of a deck by today's standards, but it will fulfill your auto-dueling needs for a little while. But don't stress about getting this if you don't want to spend the gems. It won't take long for whatever box you are opening to give you easily summonable monsters with solid attack. If you are free to play, then following the tips in this video is going to be incredibly important for you to make the most of your time and resources available in the game. But if you are willing to spend a little money, there are things you might prefer to do instead of opening packs with that money. You can buy the Duelist Pass, which does have a decent amount of benefits like opening packs from the newest box, letting you change the background of your duels and letting you change the music in your duels. But the main thing is that you can set your standard duelists multiplier to 5 instead of 3 to make your auto-dueling process even faster. If you are interested in that, then that option is available. There are also other ways that you can pay for EXP in a way. You can purchase Vagrants, which are very weak duelists wearing black clothes that will appear in your duel world, and if you beat them, they give you way more EXP than regular duelists. And you can also purchase bonus duelists, which is basically 30 extra standard duelists that you can duel, but they don't respawn after you've used them. They aren't as good for EXP as Vagrants, however, if you need gate keys, you could purchase them, duel them until there are are none left of them, and you will have gotten both keys and EXP. These things don't cost very much and may be worth using to get your gems before spending that money on packs. So everything I've mentioned so far is something you can always do regardless of when it is, but also there are always events in the game, and as soon as an event ends, another one begins. If you want to get as many gems as possible, you should take advantage of every event that comes, because all events give gems as rewards. They often give other good things as rewards as well. They might even give new characters, which of course will also bring new gems. If you don't have time for most events though, at least play the events that give characters and the events that have you dueling against other people, because those give more gems than any other event. Examples of these events are KC Cup, Turbo Duel Grand Prix, and the recent Action Duels. There are others of course, but these are just examples. Some events allow you to auto duel, and this is something that you should always take advantage of because it basically gives you an endless supply of EXP for as long as the event is around, without spending any resources to do so. Now and then we randomly get an EXP boost where we get 50% more EXP than usual. During this time period, you should really go in on your EXP farming. It makes the process feel so much faster. But there is also an item that gives you bonus EXP, but you should probably save this for the special duelist called the Vagabond. It gives you more EXP regardless of if you win or lose against them, so you should probably spend these bonus EXP items on the Vagabond because they will be wasted against anything else. The last tip I want to give in this video is that if you are a free-to-play player, your gems are very valuable as a resource. By following these tips, you will be able to make the most of the game's systems to obtain these gems. However, the way you spend your gems is going to make a big difference in how successful your account is. If you want your account to be successful, watch this video here to give you guidance on how to make a successful new account, and stay tuned for the next video in the series, which is going to tell you how to stay successful once you have a good basis in your account. If you have found anything helpful in this video, slap like now, subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that bell to get notified every time we make a new video. Happy farming, guys, and I've been Undead from Team 6K, signing out.
Hey, why they gotta hate on me? I done got me 250,000 views and they still saying they low key. They ain't wanna come work with the kid, but I'm flexing with Zay on beats. How they ask for a spot at the gym, but they leave all the weight on me. I don't ask them to wait on me. They would ask where they gon' be with a song if they wanted the weatherman. I ain't asking to pay no fees. She was homeless and needed a spot. I ain't ask her to pay no lease. I ain't ask her to say no please. I ain't ask her to make no cheese. Scream fake, but it ain't on me. Got clean, so it ain't no streets. Why green if it ain't no keeps? Brought cream, so it ain't no beef. My team say it ain't no chief. My demon, they hang on me. They seemingly ain't no peace. I seen him, he ain't no beast. For real.